And now, the general weather around Alaska.
First up, we've got some warnings and advisories out in the red shaded area. That's a wind chill warning for wind chill temperatures with gusty northeast winds to 60 below zero, and a wind chill advisory here for the Yukon Flats, and then down in around the Tanana Valley, Fairbanks eastward for wind chills of 35 to 45 below zero. And then south of there, winter weather advisories here from the Alaska Range down across the Copper River Basin and actually into northeast Prince William Sound, the North Gulf Coast, Valdez, Cordova, with a heavy snow expected over the Copper River Basin. And for satellite imagery, see it dried out today over the Panhandle, and then areas of clouds here over the eastern interior producing snow in the Copper River Basin, and to a lesser extent north of the Alaska Range. Actually, some of this area clearing skies, and it's just the ground so cold, showing up as white. And then front here draped along the southwest coast from southeast here to northwest. A couple of low centers, one right there, another one there, and one just south or just off the chart there. But this front pretty much stationary, bringing areas of rain and snow to the Alaska Peninsula with light snow up along the southwest coast on towards St. Lawrence Island. And then farther west here, that intense storm, as you can see coming onto the chart there, with that big cloud shield spreading clouds in toward Adak and Atka, mid and high level clouds after a mostly clear day with light winds in that area, and up toward the Pribilof Islands as well, but more clouds there. And looking at the chart today, you can see mostly clear and cold temperatures here, or actually just mostly clear with high pressure over the Mackenzie River Delta, and snow here along and south of the Alaska Range. Still some snow going on north of the mountains there, Northway Tok to just south of Eagle, and rain and snow there, Prince William Sound and the North Gulf Coast. Rain and snow over the Alaska Peninsula, although Cold Bay picked up several inches today as it changed over to snow, then changing back to rain late this afternoon. So kind of going back and forth there with mostly light snow for the Yukon Delta and the coastal areas northwest to St. Lawrence Island, where the winds are pretty gusty there, anywhere from 25 to 45 miles an hour, in some cases even higher than that, in across Norton Sound, St. Michael, Unalakleet, Golovin, seeing very windy conditions, as well as Kotzebue up along the northwest coast. Out to the west, here's that system approaching the western Aleutians tonight, moves right over the western chain there with storm and gale force winds advancing eastward, along with the rain into Adak and Atka. This front stays parked here right along the southwest coast and slowly weakens with weak low pressure north of the Alaska Peninsula. So still some rain and snow going on for the peninsula there, and then snow for the southwest coast, Nunivak Island up to St. Lawrence Island. Again, gusty winds and cold over the interior, but winds lighter there for the Yukon Flats up across the Arctic coast, and weak low forming just south of just south of Resurrection Bay, give or take there. And it looks like a pretty good chance of snow for the North Gulf Coast. Definitely for the Copper River Basin, the winter weather advisory is out for anywhere from 6 to 12 inches in areas there, expected for the next couple of days. And chances of snow continue to increase for Cook Inlet, and light snow will continue for the Manauskas-Susitna Valley areas. And that'll extend eastward toward the northern panhandle, but it'll stay dry for the most part, or it will stay dry for the southeast coast. And then for tomorrow, maybe some isolated shower activity up over the northern panhandle, otherwise fair, and some sunshine, central and southern areas. Snow, pretty good chance of, continues for the Copper River Basin up to the Alaska Range, and still Northway and Tok area, but should stay south of Eagle. And then that extends down across all of south central Alaska. Maybe some rain showers showing up on the east side of Kodiak Island with this easterly flow off the Pacific there. Mostly clear and cold over the northern half of the state, with those gusty winds continuing. Seward Peninsula up across Kotzebue Sound along the northwest coast there. This front weakening, but still keeps a chance of light snow going for the Yukon Delta coast. Showers lingering for the Alaska Peninsula. Intense low here over the western Aleutians, really not moving too much, kind of just stalls there in that area with the front weakening as it pushes eastward. Here will spread rain into the eastern Aleutians tomorrow afternoon. And then for the day on Monday, that low continues to slowly weaken and pull north a little bit there, with a gradient much slacker than it had been. You can see less lines around the center there than there were, say, tomorrow afternoon there, as you can see. So winds will be lighter out that way. New low develops here as the front elongates eastward and weakens. It'll keep it wet there across the eastern Aleutians into the Alaska Peninsula. Continues to increase easterly flow and southeast flow into Kodiak Island, increase the moisture there with rain. And still looking at a chance of either rain or snow for the western North Gulf Coast here. And still some snow chances for south central Alaska. Mostly cloudy, areas of light snow in the southwest interior, but generally continued dry conditions now for the Copper River Basin up into the Tanana Valley, with most of the snow ending, and even mostly clear for the northern third of the state. And the southeast coast looking pretty good, actually, from Yakutat right on down to Dixon Entrance. Could see some clearing again with increasing northeast winds here, especially over Lynn Canal in that area, probably up to small craft advisories. And for the lows tonight, for the southeast coast, teens north to near 30 south, and falling below 0 in the Copper River Basin, down to 10 below Suffolk, Ocana, 5 to 15 for south central Alaska, milder mid-20s down toward Homer, Seldovia, into Kodiak, teens and lower 20s for the Bristol Bay area, but well below 0 in the Tanana Valley, Fairbanks area, could drop to 30, 35 below. Next ends right on up into the eastern Alaska range and below 0 for the Arctic coast. Dropping down the single numbers for Nome, even into the Bering Strait, right around 20 for St. Lawrence Island. Lower 30s for the Pribilof, lower to mid 30s for the Aleutians. Highs for tomorrow, upper 30s Kodiak Island, lower 40s for the Alaska Peninsula, and upper 30s for the southern Panhandle, in the 20s to the north, staying below 0 north of the Alaska range here all the way to the Arctic coast. Highs in the teens and 20s south central Alaska, lower 30s toward Homer, and upper 30s for Kodiak Island. And then the lows Monday morning, still below 0, Copper River Basin, teens again for the Susitna-Manuska Valley into the Kenai Peninsula, but below 0 here now all the way out to the Seward Peninsula and northward to the Arctic coast. 30s for the Aleutians and the Bering Sea, and looking at mid to upper teens for the northern Panhandle, upper 20s elsewhere, or especially to the south, 25 to 30 there. That'll be followed by highs 35 to 40 over the southern southeast coast, mid 20s farther north, a little right around 0 for the Copper River Basin, but as you can see along the Alaska range into the northern Kuskokwim Valley northward, near 0 with well below 0 temperatures continuing for the eastern interior, and then closer to 0 or even above here out toward the Seward Peninsula.